Welcome to the Brick Theater for this performance of As You Like It. Please turn off your cell phones. In the event of an emergency, exit through the back of the theater. Thank you and enjoy the show. In some fresh cheek the power of fancy, then shall you know the wounds invisible that love's keen arrows make.
But till such time, come not thou near me.
Ooh. No, truly, for the truest poetry is most fighting, and lovers are given to poetry, and what they swear in poetry, it may be said, as lovers they do feign. Rosalind is your love's name? I don't like the name.
Let your fair eyes and gentle wishes go with me to my trial, wherein, if I be foiled, there is but one shamed who is never gracious. If killed, but one dead who is willing to be so. I shall do my friends no wrong. They have none to lament me. The world no injury, for in it I have nothing. Only in the world I fill up a place, which may be better supplied when I've made it empty.
Wear this one. One out of suits with fortune that could give more, but that her hand lacks means. The little strength that I have, I would it were with you.
Therefore, devise with me how we may fly, whither to go and what to bear with us, and do not seek to take your change upon you, to bear your grief yourself and leave me out.
Why, whither shall we go?
The forest of Arden.
Alas, what danger will it be to us, maids as we are, to travel forth so far? Beauty provoketh thieves sooner than gold.
I'll put myself in poor and mean attire, and with a kind of umber smirch my face, the like to you. So shall we pass along and never stir assailants.
Were it not better, because that I am more than common tall, that I did suit me all points like a man? A gallant cutlass upon my thigh, a boar spear in my hand, and in my heart lie there with hidden woman's fear their will.
What shall I call thee when thou art a man?
I'll have no worse a name than Jove's own page. Therefore look you call me Ganymede. But what will you be called?
Something that hath a reference to my state. No longer Celia, but
Aliena. Cousin, what if we essayed to steal a clownish fool out of your father's court?
oh, he'll go o'er the wide world with me. Now go we in content to not to banishment. Orlando? Orlando!
Orlando. Orlando. Orlando?
Orlando! Orlando!
Oh, Jupiter, how weary are my spirits. I care not for my spirits if my legs were not weary. I could find in my heart to disgrace my man's apparel and cry like a woman. But I must comfort the weaker vessel, as doublet and hose ought to show itself courageous to petticoat. Therefore, courage, good Aliena.
Bear with me. I can go no further.
For my part, I should rather bear with you than bear you. And yet I should bear no cross if I did bear you, for I think you have no money in your purse. Well, this is the force of Arden. Aye, now am I in Arden. The more fool I. When I was at home, I was in a better place. But travelers must be content. I be so good touchstone.
That is the way to make her scorn you still.
Oh, Audrey, that thou knewest how I do love her.
I partly guess, for I have loved Anna.
No, Audrey, being a woman, thou canst not guess. Though in my youth thou was as true a lover as ever sighed upon a midnight pillow. But if thy love was ever like to mine, as sure I think did never man love so. How many actions most ridiculous hast thou been drawn to by thy fantasy?
Into 1,000, which I have forgotten.
Oh, thou didst ne'er love so heartily. If thou rememberest not the slightest folly that ever love did make thee run into, thou hast not loved. Or if thou hast not sat, as I do now, wearying thy hearer with thy mistress' praise, thou hast not loved. Or if thou hast not broke from company, abruptly as my passion now makes me, thou hast not loved. Oh, Phoebe, Phoebe, Phoebe!
Job, the shepherd's passion is much upon my fashion. And mine, but it grows something stale with me.
Young woman and ask if she for gold will give us any food. I faint almost to death.
Holla! Clown! Peaceful, she's not thy kinsman. Who calls? Your betters, ma'am.
Elsa, they very wretched.
Peace, I say! Good even to you, friend.
And to you, and to you all.
I prithee, shepherdess, if in this desert place that love or gold can buy entertainment, bring us where we may rest ourselves and feed. Here's a young maid with travel much oppressed and faint to suffer.
I pity her. Oh, I wish my fortunes were more able to relieve her. But I am goat her to another man, and my master is of a churlish disposition. Besides, his coat, his flocks and pounds of feed are now on sale, and at our goat coat now, by reason of his absence, there is nothing that you will feed on.
Who is he? that will buy his flock and pasture?
That young swain you saw here but a while, that little cares for buying anything.
I pray thee, if it stand with honesty, buy thou the cottage, pasture, and the flock, and thou shalt have to pay for it of us.
And we will bend thy wages. I like this place and willingly could waste my time in it. Oh, assuredly, the thing is to be sold. I will your pretty faithful be to be and buy it with your gold and suddenly.
Good morrow, fool. Nay, call me not fool till heaven hath sent me fortune. It is 10 o'clock. Thus we may see how the world wags. 'Tis but an hour ago since it was 9, and in an hour more 'twill be 11. And thus, from hour to hour, we ripe and ripe, and then from hour to hour we rot and rot. And thereby hangs the tale.
That fools should be so deep contemplative.
Come, shall we go and kill its venison?
Today I did lay along under an oak whose antique root peeps out upon the brook that brawls along this wood, to the which place a poor sequestered stag, that from the hunter's aim had ta'en the hurt, did come to languish. And indeed, Rosalind, the wretched animal heaved forth such groans that their discharge did stretch his leathern coat almost to bursting, and the big round tears coursed one another down his innocent nose in piteous chase. Poor dear, thou makest a testament, as worldlings do, giving thy sum more to that which had too much. Then, being there alone, left and abandoned of his velvet friends, thus misery doth part the flocks of company. And anon a careless herd, full of the pasture, jumps along by him and never stays to greet him. Aye, sweep on, you fat and greasy citizens, 'tis just the fashion. Wherefore do you look upon that poor and broken bankrupt there?
Thus most invectively you pierce it through the body of the country, city, court, yea, and of this our life.
Forbear and eat no more.
For I have eaten none yet.
Nor shalt not, till necessity be served.
Of what kind should this cock come of?
Art thou thus bolted, man, by thy distress? Or else a rude despiser of good manners, that in civility thou seemst so empty?
What touched my vein at first? The thorny point of bare distress hath ta'en from me the show of smooth civility. Yet I am inland bred. I know some nurture. But forbear, I say! He dies that touches any of this fruit till I my affairs are answered.
And he will not be answered with reason. I must die.
What would you have? Your gentleness shall force more than your force shall lust gentleness.
I almost die for food, and let me have it.
Sit down and feed, and welcome to our table.
Speak you so gently? Pardon me, I pray you. I thought that all things have been savage here, and therefore put I on the countenance of stern commandment. Let gentleness my strong enforcement be, in which hope I blush and hide my sword.
Therefore sit you down in gentleness, and take upon command what help we have it to your wanting may be ministered.
I thank thee, and be blessed for your good comfort.
Thou seest we are not all alone unhappy. This wide and universal theatre presents more woeful pageants than the scene wherein we play.
All the world's a stage, and all the men and women merely players. They have their exits and their entrances. And one man in his time plays many parts, his acts being 7 ages. At first, the infant, mewling and puking in the nurse's arms. And then the whining schoolboy with his satchel and shining morning face, creeping like snail unwillingly to school. And then the lover, sighing like furnace, with a woeful ballad made to his mistress's eyebrow. Then a soldier, full of strange oaths and bearded like the pard, jealous in honor, sudden and quick in quarrel, seeking the bubble reputation even in the cannon's mouth. And then the justice, in fair round belly with good capon lined, with eyes severe and beard of formal cut, full of wise saws and modern instances, and so he plays his part. The 6th age shifts into the lean and slippered pantaloon, with spectacles on nose and pouch on side, his youthful hose well saved, a world too wide for his shrunk shank, and his big manly voice turning again toward childish treble, pipes and whistles in his sound. Last scene of all, that ends this strange, eventful history, is second childishness, mere oblivion. Sans teeth, sans eyes, sans taste, sans everything.
There, my verse, witness of my love. And thou, thrice-crowned queen of night, survey with thy chaste eye from thy pale sphere above thy huntress's name, which my full life doth sway. These trees shall be my books, and in their barks my thoughts I'll character, till every eye which in this forest looks shall see thy virtue witnessed everywhere. Oh, run, run, Orlando, carve on every tree the fair, the chaste, the unexpressive she.
From the east to western end, no jewel is like Rosalind. Her worth being mounted on the wind through all the world bears Rosalind. All the pictures fairest lined are but black to Rosa lined. Let no fair be kept in mind but the fair of Rosaline.
All rhyme you so 8 years together. Dinners and suppers and sleeping hours accepted. It is the right butter woman's rank to market. Out, cool. For a taste, if a heart do lack a mind, let him seek out Rosaline. If the cat will after kind, so be sure will Rosaline. Winter garments must be lined, so must slender Rosaline. They that reap must sheaf,
and bind, and then to cart with Rosalind. Sweetest nut hath sourest rind, such a nut is Rosaline. He that sweetest rose will find, must find love's prick and wrath.
This is a very foul scallop of verses. Why do you infect yourself with them?
Peace, you dull fool, I found them on a tree.
Well, truly, the tree yields bad fruit.
I shall graft it with you, and then I will graft it with a meddler, and then it will be the earliest fruit of the country, for you'll be rotten ere you be half ripe, and that's the right virtue of the meddler.
Well, you have said. But whether wisely or no, let the forest judge.
Peace! Goes my sister reading. Stand aside.
Why should this a desert be? For it is unpeopled? No. Tongues I'll hang on every tree that shall civil saying show. Some, how brief the life of man runs his erring pilgrimage, that the stretching of a span buckles in his summer age. Some of violated vows twixt the souls of friend and friend. But upon the fairest vows, or at every sentence end, will I, Rosalinda, write, teaching all that read to know the quintessence of every sprite, heaven would in little show. Therefore heaven nature charged that one body should be filled with all graces wide and long. Nature presently distilled Helen's cheek, but not her heart. Cleopatra's majesty, Atalanta's better part, sad Lucretia's modesty. Miss Rosalind of many parts by heaven's synod was devised, of many faces, eyes, hearts, to have the touches dearest prized. Heaven would that she these gifts should have, and I to live and die her slave. And I to live and die her.
O most gentle pulpiter, what tedious homily of love have you wearied your parishioners withal, and never cried, have patience, good people?
Didst thou hear these verses?
Oh yes, I heard them all, and more too, for some of them had in them more feet than the verses would bear.
That's no matter, the feet might bear the verses.
Nay, but the feet were lame, and could not bear themselves without the verse, and therefore stood lamely in the verse.
But didst thou hear without wondering how thy name should be hanged and carved upon these trees?
I was 7 of the 9 days out of the wonder before you came, for look here what I found in a pond.
Trow you who hath done this?
Is it a man?
And a chain that you once wore about his neck. Change your color. I prithee who? Oh, Lord, it is a hard matter for friends to meet, but mountains may be removed with earthquakes and so encounter.
Nay, but who is it? Is it possible? Nay, I prithee now with most petitionary vehemence, tell me who it is.
Oh, wonderful. And yet again, wonderful. And then most wonderful, and out of all whooping.
Good my complexion. Dost thou think though I am comparison like a man, I have a doublet and nose in my disposition? One inch more of the leg is a celsius of discovery. I prithee, tell me who is it quickly and speak apace. I would thou could stammer, that thou mightst pour this concealed man out of thy mouth, either too much at once or none at all. I prithee, take the cork out of thy mouth that I may drink thy tidings.
So you may put a man in your belly?
What manner of man? Is he a God's man? Is his head worth a hat or his chin worth a beard?
Nay, he hath but a little beard.
Oh, why God will send more if the man will be thankful. But let me stay the growth of his beard, if thou delay me not the knowledge of his chin.
It is down Orlando.
Nay, but the devil take mocking. Speak, sad brow and true make.
If faith, 'cause 'tis he.
Orlando.
Orlando. under a tree like a dropped acorn.
It may well be called Job's tree when it drops forth such fruit.
Give me audience, good man.
Proceed.
There lay he, stretched along like a wounded knight.
Though it be pity to see such a sight, it well becomes the ground.
Try holla to thy tongue, I prithee, it prevents unseasonable. He was furnished like a hunter.
Oh, ominous, he comes to kill my heart.
I would sing my song without a burden, thou bringest me out of tune. Do you not know I am a woman? When I think I must speak, sweet, say on. You bring me out. So, comes he not here? He's like fire, no.
I thank you for your company, but good faith, I had as lief had been myself alone.
So would I. Yet, for fashion's sake, I thank you too for your society.
God be with you. Let's meet as little as we can.
I desire we may be better strangers.
I pray you, mar no more trees with writing love songs in their barks.
I pray you, mar no more of my verses by viewing them ill-favoredly.
Rosalind is your love's name?
Yes, just.
I do not like her name.
There was no thought of pleasing you when she was christened.
What stature is she of?
Just as high as my heart.
You are full of pretty answers. Have you not been acquainted with goldsmiths' wives and conned them out of rings?
Not so, but I answer you right painted cloth from whence you've studied your questions.
You have a nimble wit. I think 'twas made of Atalanta's heels. Come, sit with me, and we two will rail against our mistress, the world, and all our misery.
I will chide no breather in the world but myself, against whom I know most faults.
The worst fault you have is to be in
It
love.
is a fault I would not trade for your best virtue. I am weary of you.
By my troth, I was seeking for a fool when I found you.
He is but drowned in the brook. Look but in, you shall see him.
There I shall see mine own figure.
Which I take to be either a fool or a cipher.
I'll tarry no longer. Farewell, good Signor Love.
I'm glad of your departure. Adieu, good Monsieur Melancholy.
Like a saucy lackey, and under that habit play the knave with him. Do you hear, Forrester?
Very well. What would you?
I pray you, what is o'clock?
Ask me what time of day. There is no clock in the forest.
Then there is no true lover in the forest. Else sighing every minute and groaning every hour would detect the lazy foot of time as well as the clock.
Why not the swift foot of time? Had that not been as proper?
By no means, sir. Time travels in diverse paces with diverse persons. I'll tell you who time ambles withal, who time trots withal, who time gallops withal, and who he stands still withal.
I prithee, who doth time trot withal?
Mary, he trots hard with a young maid between the contract of her marriage and the day it is solemnized. If the interim is but a sennight, time's pace is so hard that it seems the length of 7 years.
Who ambles time withal?
With the priest that lacks Latin, and the rich man that hath not the gout, for the one sleeps easily because he cannot study, and the other lives merrily because he feels no pain. The one lacking the burden of lean and wasteful learning, the other knowing no burden of heavy tedious penury. These time ambles withal.
Who doth time gallop withal?
With a thief to the gallows. For though he go as softly as foot can fall, he thinks himself too soon there.
Who stays it still withal?
with lawyers in the vacation, where they sleep between term and term, and then they proceed not how time moves.
Where dwell you, pretty youth?
With the shepherdess, here in the skirts of the forest, like fringe upon a petticoat.
Are you native of this place?
As the coney that you see dwell where she is kindled.
Your accent is something finer than you could purchase in so removed a dwelling.
I have been told so of many. But indeed, an old religious uncle of mine taught me to speak, who was in his youth an inland man, one who knew courtship too well, for there he fell in love. I have heard him read many lectures against it, and I thank God I am not a woman to be touched with so many giddy offenses as he has generally taxed the whole sex withal.
I pray you, can you recount any of the principal evils that he laid to the charge of women?
There were none principal. They were all like one another, as halfpence saw. Every one fault seeming monstrous till its fellow faults came to match it.
I pray you, recount some of them.
No! I will not cast away my physic but on those that are sick. There's a man haunts the forest that abuses our young plants with carving Rosalind on their barks, hangs oaths upon hawthorns and elegies on brambles, all forsooth deifying the name of Rosalind. If I could meet that fancy monger, I would give him some good counsel, for he seems to have the quotidian of love upon him.
I am he that is so love-shamed. I pray you, tell me your remedy.
You have none of my uncle's marks upon you. He taught me to know a man in love, in which cage of rushes I am sure you are not prisoner.
What were his marks?
A lean cheek, which you have not. A blue-eyed son, which you have not. Oh, an unquestionable spirit, which you have not. A beard neglected, which you have not. But I pardon you for that, for you're simply having a beard as the younger brothers revenge you. Then your hose should be unguarded, your bonnet unpinned, your sleeve unbuttoned, your shoe untied, and everything about you demonstrating a careless desolation. But you are no such man. You're rather a point device in your accoutrements, of loving yourself than seeming the lover of any other.
Fair youth, I could make thee believe I love.
Me believe it. You may as soon make her that you love believe it, which she is apter to do, then confess she does. But in good sooth, are you he that hangs the verses on the trees wherein Rosalind is so admired?
I swear by the white hand of Rosalind, I am that he, that unfortunate he.
But are you so much in love as your rhymes speak?
Neither rhyme nor reason can express how much.
Love is merely a madness, and I tell you, deserves as well a Doghouse of wit as madmen do. And the reason they are not so punished and cured is that the lunacy is so ordinary that the whippers are in love too. And yet I profess curing it by counsel.
Have you ever cured any so?
Yes. One. And in this manner. He was to imagine me his love, his mistress. And I set him every day to woo me, at which time would I, being but a moonish youth, grieve, be effeminate, changeable, longing in liking, proud, fantastical, apish, shallow, inconstant, full of tears, full of smiles, where every passion is something and for no passion truly anything, as boys and women are for the most part cattle of this color, would now like him, now loathe him, then entertain him, then forswear him, now weep for him, then spit at him, then I drave my suitor from his mad humor of love to a living humor of madness, which was to forswear the full stream of the world and live in a no communion even as. And this way will I take upon me to wash your liver as clean as a sound sheep's heart, and there shall not be one spot of love in it.
I would not be cured, youth.
I would cure you if you would but call me Rosalind, and come every day to my coat, and
by the faith of my love, I will. Tell me where it is.
Go with me to it and I will show it you. And by the way, you will tell me where in the forest you live. Who you live.
With all my heart, good you.
Nay, you must call me Rosalind. Oh, Cause, my pretty little Cause. If thou didst know how many fathoms deep I am in love. But it cannot be sounded. My affection hath an unknown bottom like the bay of fortune.
Or rather bottomless, that as soon as you pour affection in, it runs out.
Come apace, good Audrey! I will fetch up your goats, Audrey! And have Audrey. Am I the man yet? Doth my simple feature content you?
Feature? Lord does. What feature?
Oh, knowledge-ill inhabitant, 'tis worse than Joseph, that's house.
But a man's verses cannot be understood, nor a man's good wit seconded with the forward child understanding. It strikes a man more dead than a great reckoning in a little room. Truly, I would the gods had made thee poetical.
I do not know what poetical is. Isn't honest your word and deep? Isn't it true thing?
No, truly. For the truest poetry is the most feigning. And lovers are given to poetry, and what they swear in poetry, it may be said, as lovers, they do feign.
Do you wish then the gods had made me poetical?
I do, truly, for thou swearest to me thou art honest. Now, if thou wert a poet, I might have some hope that thou didst feign.
Would you not have me honest?
No, truly, unless thou wert hard favored. For honesty coupled to beauty is to have honey a sauce to sugar.
A material fool.
Well, I am not fair, and therefore I pray the gods make me honest.
Truly, and to cast away honesty upon a foul slut, or to put good meat into an unclean dish.
I am no slut! Though I thank the gods, I am foul.
Well, praise be the gods for thy foulness. Sluttishness may come hereafter. Oh. But be it as it may be, I will marry thee. And to that end, I have been with Sir Oliver Martex, the vicar of the next village, who hath promised to meet me here in this place of the forest and to couple us.
Give us joy!
I would fain see this meeting.
Oh, well, here comes Sir Oliver. Sir Oliver Martex. Yeah, you are well met. Will you dispatch us here under this tree? Or shall we go with you to your chapel?
Is there none here to give the lady?
I will not take her on gift of any man.
Truly she must be given, else the marriage is not lawful. And will you, being a man of your breeding, be married under a bush like a beggar? Get thee to church and have a good priest that can tell you what marriage is. I will but join you together as they join wainscot, then one of you will prove a shrunk panel, and like green timber, warp, warp!
I am not of the mind, but I were better to be married of you than of another. For you are not like to marry me well. And not being well married, it will be a good excuse for me hereafter to leave my wife. let me counsel thee. Now come, sweet Audrey. We must be married, or we must live in bawdry. Farewell, good Master Oliver. Not, oh brave Oliver, oh sweet Oliver, leave me not behind thee, but wind away. Be gone, I say. I will not to wedding with thee.
Never talk to me, I will weep.
Therefore weep, but have the grace to consider that tears do not become a man.
But have I not cause to weep?
As good cause as one would desire, therefore weep.
His very hair is of the dissembling color.
Something browner than Judas's. Mary, his kisses are Judas's own children.
Faith, his hair is of the blue color.
An excellent color. Your chestnut was ever the only color.
And his kissing is as full of sanctity as the touch of holy bread.
He hath but a pair of cast lips of Diana. A nun of winter's sisterhood kisses not more religiously. The very ice of chastity is unlimited.
But why did he promise he would come this morning and comes not?
Nay, certainly there is no truth in him.
Do you think so?
Yes. I don't think him a pit purse nor a horse stealer, but as for his severity in love, I do think him as concave as a covered goblet or a worm-eaten nut.
Not true in love?
Yes, when he is in, but I think he is not in.
You have heard him swear downright he was.
Was is not is. Besides, the oath of a lover is no stronger than the word of a tapster. They're both the confirmer of false record.
Oh, Phoebe. If ever, has that ever? Oh, Phoebe, say that. You love me not, but say not so in bitterness. The common executioner, whose heart the accustomed sight of death makes hard, falls not the axe upon the humbled neck, but first makes pardon. Will you sterner be than he that lives and dies by bloody drops?
I would not be thy executioner. I fly thee, for I would not injure thee. Thou tell'st me there is murder in mine eyes. 'Tis pretty sure and very probable that eyes should be called tyrants, butchers, murderers. Now I do frown on thee with all my heart. And if mine eyes can wound, now let them kill thee! Now counterfeit to swoon, I now fall down. Or if thou canst not, oh, for shame, lie not to say mine eyes are murderers. Now show the wound mine eye hath made in thee. Scratch thee but with a pin, and there remains some scar of it. But now mine eyes, which I have darted at thee, hurt thee not. Nor, I am sure, there is no force in eyes that can do hurt.
Oh, Phoebe, if ever, has that ever made me near? You meet in some fresh cheek, the power of fancy. Then shall you know the wounds invisible that love's keen arrows make.
Until such time, come not thou near me. And when that time comes, afflict me with thy mocks. Pity me not, as till such time I shall not pity thee.
And why, I pray you? Who might be your mother that you
Insult, exalt, and all at once
over the wretched? What though you have no beauty? As by my faith I see no more in you that without candle may go dark to bed. Must you be therefore proud and pitiless? Why, what means this? Why do you look on me? Oh, it's my little life. I think she needs to tangle my eyes too. No, faith, proud mistress. Hope not after it. 'Tis not your inky brows, your black silk hair, nor bugle eyeballs, nor your cheek of cream that can tame my spirits to your worship. You foolish shepherd, wherefore do you follow her? Like foggy south puffing with wind and rain. You are 1,000 times a properer man than she, a woman. 'Tis such fools as you that makes the world full of ill-favored children. 'Tis not her glass, but you that flatters her, and out of you she sees herself more proper than any of her lineaments can show her. But mistress, know yourself. Down on your knees and thank heaven for a good man's love. For I must tell you, frankly in your ear, sell when you can. You are not for all markets. Cry the man mercy, love him, take his offer. Thou is most thou to be a scoffer. So take her to thee, shepherd. Fare you well.
No, sweet youth! I pray you, chide a year together. I had rather hear you chide than this man woo.
He's fallen in love with your foulness, and she'll fall in love with my anger. Why do you look upon me?
No ill will, I pray you.
I pray you do not fall in love with me, for I am falser than vows made in wine. Besides, I like you not. If you will know, my house is at the tuft of olives here hard by. Will you go, sister? Shepherd, ply her hard. Shepherdess, look on him better, and be not proud. Though all the world could see, none could be so abused in sight as he. Come to our flock.
Oh, dear shepherd, now I find thy saw of might. Whoever loved that loved not at first.
Sweet Phoebe, pity me.
My gentle Sylvius, I am sorry for you.
Wherever sorrow is, relief would be if you do sorrow and my grief in love. By giving love, your sorrow and my grief were both exterminate.
Thou hast my love, is not that neighborly?
I would have you.
Why, that were covetousness. Sylvius, the time was that I hated thee, and yet it is not that I bear thee love, but since that thou canst talk so well of love, thy company, which erst was irksome to me, I'll endure, and I'll employ thee too. But look for no further recompense than thine own gladness that thou art employed.
So holy and so perfect is my love, and I in such a poverty of grace, that I shall think it a most plenteous crop to glean the broken ears after the man that the main harvest reaps. Loose now and then a scattered smile, and that I'll live upon.
Know'st thou the youth that spoke to me erewhile?
Not very well, but I have met him oft, and he hath but the cottage and the bounds that the old harlot once was master of.
Think not, I love him, though I ask for him. 'Tis but a peevish boy. Yet he talks well. But what care I for words? Yet words do well when he that speaks them pleases those that hear. It is a pretty youth. Not very pretty. But sure, he's proud. And yet his pride becomes him. He'll make a proper man. The best thing in him was his complexion, and faster than his tongue did make offense, his eye did heal it up. There's a pretty redness in his lip, a little riper and more lusty red than that was mixed in his cheek. 'Twas just the difference between the constant red and the mingled damask. There be some women, Sylvius, had they marked him in parsonal society, would have gone near to fall in love with him. But for my part, I love him not, nor hate him not. And yet, I have more cause to hate him than to love him, for, oh, now I am remembered he scorned at me! I marvel why I answered him not again. But that's all one. A mittance is no quittance. I shall write to him a very taunting letter, and thou wilt bear it. Wilt thou, Silvius?
Maybe with all my heart.
I'll write it straight. The matter is in my head, and in my heart I will be bitter with him, and passing short. Go with me, Silvius!
I prithee, pretty youth, let me be better acquainted with thee.
They say you are a melancholy fellow.
I am so. I do love it better than laughing.
Those who are in extremity of either are abominable fellows, and betray themselves to every modern censure worse than drunkards.
Why, 'tis good to be sad and say nothing.
Why then, 'tis good to be a post.
I have neither the scholar's melancholy, which is emulation, nor the musician's, which is fantastical, nor the soldier's, which is ambitious, nor the courtier's, which is proud, nor the lawyer's, which is politic, nor the lady's, which is nice, nor the lover's, which is all these. But it is a melancholy of my own, compounded of many symbols, extracted from many objects, and indeed the sundry's contemplation of my travels, in which my often rumination wraps me in a most humorous sadness.
A traveler! By my faith, you have great reason to be sad. I fear you have sold your own lands to see other men's. Then, to have seen much, and to have nothing, is to have rich eyes and poor hands.
Yes, I have gained my experience.
And your experience makes you sad. I would rather have a fool to make me merry than experience to make me sad. And to travel for it, too.
Good day and happiness, dear Rosalind.
Nay then, God be with you, and you talk in blank verse.
Farewell, Monsieur Traveler. Look, you lisp and wear strange suits, disable all the benefits of your country, be out of love with your nativity, and almost chide God for making you that countenance you are, or I will scarce think you swam in a gondola. Why, how now, Orlando? Where have you been all this while? You, a lover. And you serve me such another trick. Never come in my sight more.
Fair Rosalind, I come within an hour of my promise.
Break an hour's promise in love. He that will divide a minute into 1,000 parts and break but a part of that 1,000 parts of a minute in the affairs of love. It may be said of him that Cupid hath clapped him on the shoulder, but I'll warrant him heart whole.
Pardon me, Rosalind.
Nay, and you be so tardy, come no more in my sight. I had as lief be wooed of a snail.
Of a snail?
I am a snail. But though he comes slowly, he carries his house on his head. A better torture, I think, than you make a woman. Besides, he brings his destiny with him.
What's that?
Why, horns, which such as you are fain to be beholden to your wives for. But he comes armed in his fortune, and prevents the slander of his wife.
Virtue is no horn maker, and my Rosalind is virtuous.
And I am your Rosalind.
It pleases him to call you so, but he has the Rosalind of a better Leah than you.
Come, come, woo me, for now I am in a holiday humor and like enough to consent. What would you say to me now, and I were your very, very Rosalind?
I would kiss before I spoke.
Nay, you would better speak first. And when you were gravelled for lack of matter, you might take occasion to kiss. Very good orators, when they are out, they will spit. Except for lovers lacking, God warn us, matter, the cleanliest shift is to kiss.
But how if the kiss be denied?
Then she puts you to a tree, and there begins the matter.
Who could be out when being before their beloved mistress?
Mary, that should you, if I were your mistress. For I should think my honesty ranker than my wit.
What? My suit?
Not out of your apparel, and yet out of your suit. And then I your Rosalind?
I take some joy to say you are, because I be thinking of her.
While in your own person, I will not have you!
Then in my own person I die.
No! Faith, die by attorney! This poor world is almost 6,000 years old, and in all that time there was not any man died in his own person fidelicity in a love cause. Troilus, he had his brains dashed out with a Grecian club, if he did what he could to die before. Leander, he would have lived many a fair year, were it not for a hot midsummer night. For his youth, he went by court to wash him in the house, and being taken with a cramp, was drowned. And the foolish chroniclers of that age found it was Hero of Sestos. But these are all lies. Men have died from time to time, and worms have eaten. But not for love.
I will not have my right, Rosalind, is mine. For I protest. Her frown might kill me.
By this hand will not kill a fly. But now I will be your Rosalind in a more coming on disposition, and ask me what you will, I will grant it.
Then love me, Rosalind.
Marry will I. Fridays and Saturdays and all.
Wilt thou have me?
Aye. And 20 such.
What sayest thou?
Are you not good?
I hope so.
Why then can one desire too much of a good thing? Come, sister. You must be the priest and marry us. Give me your hand or leg. What do you say, sister?
I pray thee, marry us.
I cannot say the words.
You must begin. Will you, Orlando?
Go to. Will you, Orlando, take to wife Miss Rosalind?
I will.
Why, but when?
Why, now, as fast as she can marry
Well,
us.
then you must say, I take thee, Rosalind, for wife.
I take thee, Rosalind, for wife.
I might ask for your commission, but I do take thee, Orlando, for my husband. There's a girl goes before a priest, and certainly a woman's thought runs before her actions.
So do all thoughts. They are winged.
Now tell me, how long would you have her after you have possessed her?
Forever and a day.
Say a day without it. No, Orlando. Men are April when they woo, December when they wed. Maids are May when they are maids, but the sky changes when they are wives. I will be more jealous of you than a Barbary cock pigeon over his head. More clamorous than a parrot against rain. More newfangled than an ape. More giddy in my desires than a monk. I will cry for nothing like Diana in the fountain, and I will do that when you are disposed to be married. I will laugh like a hyena, and that when thou art inclined to sleep.
How will my Rosalind do so?
By my life, she will do as I do.
She is wise.
Oh, or she could not have the wit to do this. Make the doors on a woman's wit, and it will out at the casement. Shut that, 'twill fly out the window. Stop that, 'twill fly with the smoke out at the chimney.
If a man had a wife with such a wit, he might say, wit, whither wilt?
Nay, you might keep that check for it till you found your wife's wit going to your neighbor's bed.
What wit could wit have to excuse that?
Mary, to say she came to save you there. You will never take her without her answer, unless you take her without her tongue. Oh, that woman that cannot make her fault her husband's engagement, let her never nurse her child herself, for she will breed it like a fool.
Rosalind, for these 2 hours, I will be beaten.
Alas, dear love, I cannot let thee 2 hours.
I must attend the Duke at dinner. By 2 o'clock, I'll be with thee again.
I go your ways. Go your ways. I knew what you would prove. My friends told me as much, and I thought no less. That flattering tongue of yours won me. 'Tis but one cast away, and so come death. Is your hour?
Aye, sweet Rosalind.
By my troth, and in good faith, and so commend me, and by all the pretty oaths, there are not dangers. If you break one shot of your promise, or come 1 minute behind your hour, I will think you the most pathetical break promise, and the most hollow lover, and the most unworthy of her that you call Rosalind, that may be chosen out of the gross band of the unfaithful. Therefore, beware my censure,
promise?
with no less religion than if thou wert indeed my Rosalind. So adieu.
Well, time is the old justice that examines all such offenders. And so let time drop.
You have simply misused our sex in your love parade. You must have your doublet and hose plucked over your head and show the world what the bird hath done to her own nest.
I'll tell thee, Alliana. You cannot be out of the sight of Orlando. I'll go find a shadow inside till you come.
And I'll sleep.
How say you now? Is it not past 2 o'clock? Here much Orlando.
I warrant you, with pure love and troubled brain, he hath taken forth his bows and arrows, and is gone forth to sleep. But who comes here?
My errand is to you, fair youth. My gentle Phoebe bid me give you this. I know not the contents, but as I guess, by the stern brow and waspish action which she did use as she was writing of it, it bears an angry tenor. Pardon me! I am as a guiltless messenger.
Patience herself would startle at this letter and play the swaggerer. Bear this, Beryl. She says that I am not fair, that I lack manners. She calls me proud, and that she could not love me were men as rare as phoenix. Odds my will! Her love is not the hare that I do hunt! Why writes she so to me? Well, Shepherd, well, this is a letter of your own device.
No, I protest, I know not the contents.
You are a fool, and turned it to the extremity of things. I saw her hand. She hath a leather hand, a freestone colored hand. I verily did think her own gloves were on, but 'twas her hands. She has a huswife's hands. But that's not that. I say she never did invent this letter. This is a man's invention and his hand.
Sure it is hers.
But 'tis a boisterous and cruel style. A style for challengers. Where she defies me. Women's gentle brain could not jump forth such giant rude invention. Will you hear the letter?
So please you, for I never heard it yet heard too much of Phoebe's cruelty.
She Phoebe's me. Mark how the title writes. Art thou God to shepherd turned, that a maiden's heart hath burned? Can a woman rail thus?
Call you this railing?
Why thy godhead laid apart, warst thou with a woman's heart? Did you ever hear such railing? Whiles the eye of man did woo me, that could do no vengeance to me, meaning me of peace.
The scorn of your bright eye hath the power to raise such love in mine. Alas, in me what strange effect would they work in my aspect? Whilst you chid me, I did love. How then might your prayers move? He that brings this love to thee little knows this love in me, and by him seal up thy mind, whether that thy youth and kind will this faithful offer take of me and all that I can make. Or else by him my love deny, and then I'll study how to die.
Call you this chiding?
Alas, poor shepherd. Do you pity him? No, he deserves no pity. Wilt thou love such a woman? Or to make thee an instrument and play false strains upon it? Not to be endured. Well, go your ways to her. For I see love hath made thee a tame snake. And say this to her, that if she loved me, I charge her to love thee. If she will not, I will never have her unless thou entreat for her. If you be a true lover, hence another word. For here comes new company.
Good morrow, fair ones. Pray you, if you know where in the purlieus of this forest stands a sheepcote, fenced about with olive trees,
West of this place, down by the neighbor bottom, the rank of osiers by the murmuring stream, left under right hand brings you to the place. But at this hour, the house doth keep itself, there is none within.
if that and I may profit by your tongue, then should I know you by description, such garments and such years. The boy is fair, of female favor, and bestows himself like a right sister. The woman low and browner than her brother. Are not you the owner of the house I did inquire for?
It is no boast, being asked to say we are.
Orlando doth commend him to you both. And to that youth he calls his Rosalind, he gives this bloody napkin. Are you he?
I am. What must we understand by this?
Some of my shame, if you will know of me, what man I am and how and why and where I came into this place.
Pray you tell it.
When last the young Orlando parted from you, he left a promise to return again within an hour, and pacing through the forest, chewing the food of sweet and bitter fancy, lo, what befell. He threw his eyes aside, and marked what object did present itself. Under an oak, whose boughs were mossed with age, and high-top bald with dry antiquity, a wretched, ragged man, o'ergrown with hair, lay sleeping on his back. About his neck, a green and gilded snake had wreathed itself, who with her head nimble in threats approached the opening of his mouth. But suddenly, seeing Orlando, it unlinked itself, and with indented glides did slip away into a bush, under which bushes shade a lioness, with udders all drawn dry, lay couching, head on ground, with cat-like watch, that when the sleeping man should stir, for 'tis the royal disposition of that beast to bring him nothing of the scene is dead. This scene, Orlando did approach the man, and found it was his brother, his elder brother.
Oh, I've heard him speak of that same brother, and he did render it the most unnatural that it belongs to man.
And well he might so do, for well I know he was unnatural.
But to Orlando, did he leave him there? Food to the sucked and hungry lioness?
Twice he did turn his back, and purpose so, but kindness, nobler ever than revenge, and nature, stronger than his just occasion, made him give battle to the lioness, who quickly fell before him, in which hurtling from miserable slumber I awake.
Are you his brother?
Was still he rescued?
Was you that so did oft contrive to kill him?
'Twas I, but 'tis not I do not shame to tell thee what I was, since my conversion so sweetly tastes, being the thing I am.
But for the bloody napkin?
By and by, when from the first to last betwixt us two tears our recountments had most kindly bathed, as how I came into that desert place. He led me instantly unto his cave. There stripped himself, and here, upon his arm, the lioness had torn some flesh away, which all this while had bled, and now he fainted, and cried in fainting upon Rosalind. Brief, I recovered him, bound up his wound, and with such small space, being strong at heart, he sent me hither, stranger that I am, to tell this story, that you might excuse his broken promise, and to give this napkin dyed in his blood unto that shepherd youth that he had sworn to call his Rosalind.
How now, Ganymede? Sweet Ganymede.
Many will swoon when they do look on blood.
There is more in it. Cousin Ganymede.
Look, he recovers.
I would I were at home. Oh, we'll take you thither. Pray you take him by the arm.
Be of good cheer, youth. You a man? You lack a man's heart.
So I do, I confess it. Sarah, a body would think this was well counterfeited. I pray you tell your brother how well I counterfeited. I know.
This was not counterfeit. There's too great a testimony in your complexion that it was a passion of earnest.
Counterfeit, I assure you.
Well then take good heart and counterfeit to be a man.
So I do. But I think I should have been a woman by right.
Come, you look paler and paler. Pray you draw homewards. Good sir, go with us.
That will I, for I must bring answer back how you excuse my brother, Rosalind.
I shall devise something. But I pray you commend my counterfeiting to him. Will you go?
We shall find the time, Audrey. Patience, gentle Audrey.
Think the priest was good enough for all your saying.
A most wicked Sir Oliver, Audrey, a most vile vortex. But Audrey, there's a youth here in the forest lays claim to you.
Oh, yeah, I know who it is.
You have no interest in me for all the world. Your cousin, you mean?
It is meat and drink to me to see a clown. That my troth, we that have good wits have much to answer for. We shall be flouting. We cannot hold.
Good evening, Audrey.
Got you good evening, William.
Good evening to you, sir.
Good evening, gentle friend. Cover thy head. Cover thy head. Nay, prithee, be covered. How old are you, friend?
5 and 20,
Ah,
sir.
Your ripe age? Is thy name William?
William, sir.
Fair name. Was born in the forest here?
Aye, sir. Thank God.
Oh, thank God. A good answer. Art rich?
Faith, sir? So-so.
So is good. Very good, very excellent, good. Oh, and yet it is not. It is but so. Art wise?
Oh, aye, sir. I have a pretty wit.
Oh, thou sayest well. I do now remember a saying, the fool doth think he is wise, but the wise man knows himself to be a fool. The heathen philosopher, when he had a desire to eat a grape, would open his lips when he put it into his mouth, meaning thereby that grapes were made to eat and lips to open. Okay. You do love this maid.
I do, sir.
Give me thy hand. Art thou learned?
No, sir.
Then learn this of me. To have is to have. For it is a figure in rhetoric that drink being poured out of a cup into a glass by filling the one doth empty the other. Now all your writers do consent that ipse is he. Now you are not ipse, for I am he.
Which he, sir?
He, sir, that must marry this woman. Therefore, you clown, abandon, which is in the vulgar, leave, the society, which in the boorish is company, of this female, which in the common is woman, which together is abandon the society of this female, or clown, thou perishest. Or to thy better understanding, diest, or to wit, I kill thee. Make thee away. Translate thy life into death, thy liberty into bondage. I will deal in poison with thee.
or in bastinado, or in steel. I will bandy with thee in faction. I will overrun thee with policy. I will kill thee 150 ways. Therefore, tremble and depart.
You good, William.
God rest you merry, sir. Is it possible that on so little acquaintance you should like her? That seeing her you should love her? And loving woo, and wooing she should grant, and wilt thou persevere to enjoy her?
Neither call the giddiness of it in question. The poverty of her, the small acquaintance, my sudden wooing, nor her sudden consenting. But say with me, I love Aliena. Say with her that she loves me. Consent with both that we may enjoy each other. It shall be to your good, for my father's house, and all the revenue that was old Sir Roland's will, I estate upon you. And here liveth I a shepherd.
You have my consent. Let the wedding be to... Go prepare, Aliena. For look you, here comes my Rosalind.
God save you, brother.
And you, fair sister.
Oh, my dear Orlando, how it grieves me to see thee thy heart wrapped in a scarf.
It is my arm.
I thought thy heart had been wounded by the claws of a lion.
Wounded it has been, but with the eyes of a lady.
Did your brother tell you how I counterfeited his swoon when he showed me your handkerchief?
Aye, greater wonders than that.
Oh, I know where you are. Nay, 'tis true, for your brother and my sister no sooner met what they looked, no sooner looked what they loved, no sooner loved what they sighed, no sooner sighed but they asked one another the reason, no sooner knew the reason than they sought the remedy. And in these degrees have they made a pair of stairs to marriage, which they will climb incontinent,
Or else be incontinent before marriage.
They are the very throes of love, and they will tomorrow. Loves cannot part.
They shall be married tomorrow. Oh, how bitter a thing it is to look into happiness through another man's eyes. By so much more tomorrow shall I be at the height of heart heaviness, by how much I shall think my brother happy in having what he wishes for.
Why then, tomorrow I cannot serve your turn for Rosalind?
I can live no longer by thinking.
I will weary you then no longer with idle talking. Know of me then, for now I speak to some purpose, that I know you are a gentleman of good conceit. I speak not this that you should bear a good opinion of my knowledge, insomuch I say I know you are. Nor do I labor for a greater esteem than may in some little measure draw a belief from you, to do yourself good, and not to praise me. Believe then, if you please, that I can do strange things. I have, since I was 3-year-old, conversed with a magician most profound in his art, and yet not general. You do love Rosalind, so near the heart, as your gesture cries it out. When your brother marries Aliena, so shall you marry her. I know into what straits of fortune she is driven, and it is not impossible to me, if it appear not inconvenient to you, to set her before your eyes tomorrow, human as she is and without any danger.
Speakest thou in sober meanings?
By my life I do. Which I tender dearly, though I say I am a magician. Therefore put you in your best array. Bid your friends, for if you will be married tomorrow, you shall. And to Rosalind, if you will. my study to seem despiteful and ungentle to you. You are there followed by a faithful shepherd. Look upon him, love him, he worships you.
Good shepherd, tell this youth what 'tis to love.
It is to be all made of sighs and tears. And so am I for Phoebe.
And I for Ganymede.
I for Rosalind.
And I for no woman.
It is to be all made of faith and service. And so am I for Phoebe.
And I for Ganymede.
And I for Rosalind.
And I for no woman.
It is to be all made of fantasy, all made of passion, and all made of wishes, all adoration, duty, and observance, all humbleness, all patience and impatience, all purity, all trial, all observance. And so am I for Phoebe.
And I for Ganymede.
I for Rosalind.
And so am I for no woman.
If this be so, why blame you me to love you?
If this be so, I blame you me to love you.
If this be so, why blame you me to love you?
Who do you speak to? Why blame you me to love you?
To her that is not here, nor doth not hear.
No, from no more of this. 'Tis like the howling of Irish wolves against the moon. I will help you if I can. I would love you if I could. Tomorrow, meet me all together. I will marry you if ever I marry woman, and I'll be married tomorrow. I will satisfy you if ever I satisfy men, and you shall be married tomorrow. I will content you if what pleases you contents you, and you shall be married tomorrow. As you love Rosalind, meet. As you love Phoebe, meet. And as I love no woman, I'll meet. So fare you well. I have left you commands.
I'll not fail if I live.
Nor I.
Nor I.
Dost thou believe, Orlando, that the boy can do all this that he has promised it?
I sometimes do believe, and sometimes do not. As those that fear, they hope, and know they fear.
Patience once more while our compact is urged. You say, if I bring in your Rosalind, you will have her.
That would I, were I of all kingdoms king.
You say you'll marry me if I be willing.
That will I, should I die the hour after.
But if you do refuse to marry me, you'll give yourself to this most faithful shepherd.
So is the bargain.
You say that you'll let Phoebe if she will.
Though to hammer and death were both one thing.
I promise to make all this matter easy. Give you your word, Orlando, to receive your Rosalind. Give your word, Phoebe, that you'll marry me, or else refusing me to wed this shepherd. Give your word, Sylvius, that you'll wed her if she refuses. And from hence I go, to make these doubts all easy.
I do remember in that shepherd boy some lively touches of your Rosalind's favor.
Dear brother, when first I laid eyes on him, we thought he was a brother to her. But, my good lord, this boy is forest-born and hath been tutored in the rudiments of many desperate studies by his uncle, whom he reports to be a great magician, yet obscured in the circle of this forest.
There is sure another flood towards when these couples are coming to the ark. Here comes a pair of very strange beasts, which in all tongues are called fools.
Salutations and greetings to you all.
Wherefore, my lord, bid him welcome. Welcome. He is a motley-minded gentleman that I have so often met in the forest. He hath been a courtier, he swears.
If any man doubt that, let him put me to my purgation. I press in here, sir, amongst the rest of you country copulatives, to swear and to forswear
according as marriage binds and blood breaks.
Oh, the poor virgin, sir. An ill-favored thing, sir, but mine own. A poor humor of mine, sir, to take that which no man else wants. But, oh, rich modesty dwells like a miser in a poor house, sir, like your pearl in your foul oyster.
Is he not a special fellow, my lord? He's as good at anything and yet a fool.
He uses his folly like a stalking horse, and under the presentation of that, he shoots his wit.
Then is there mirth in heaven, when earthly things may even atone together. Good Orlando, receive thy wife. Hymen from heaven brought her, yea, brought her hither, that thou mightst join her hand with his, whose heart within his bosom is.
If sight and shape be true, why then, my love, adieu.
I'll have no husband, if you be not he, nor ne'er wed woman, if you be not she.
I will not eat my words. Now art thou mine, thy faith my fancy to thee doth combine. Ah!
To you I give myself, for I am yours.
If there be truth in sight, you are my Rosalind.
Here's 8 that must take hands to join in Hymen's bands, if truth holds true contents. You and you no cross shall part. You and you are heart in heart. You to his love must accord, or have a woman to your lord. You and you are sure together, as the winter to foul weather. Whiles a wedlock hymn we sing, feed yourselves with questioning, that reason wonder may diminish how thus we met, and these things finish.
You to a love that your true faith doth merit. You to your land and love and great allies. You to a long and well-deserved bed. And you to your wrangling. For your loving voyage is but for 2 months' victuals. So, to your pleasures. I am for other than dancing measures.
Stay, Jaques, stay.
Casino pastime, I. What you would have, I'll stay to know at your abandoned cave.
Proceed, proceed. We will begin these rites, as we do trust they'll end in true delights.
players. They have their exits and their entrances. One man in his time plays many parts. His acts being 7 8.